I'm going to get a COVID test today. I haven't
That's
been feeling well the last couple of days.
Good idea.
Yeah, you should.
Does anybody else come down with it in the station you know of, Sam?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Here we go.
WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM, and on your Civic Media app, you can get us there, text us, and give us a call as well. We're John and Gordy. This is a very special edition, the short stack edition of the Family Show.
We're here every Wednesday.
We are?
Yeah, every Wednesday morning from 6 to 8 a.m. You can stop by, say hi, have some pancakes or anything off their great menu here. Short Stack Eatery. How long have we been doing the show from Short Stack on Wednesday mornings?
Not long enough.
At least 3 or 4 months at least. Right?
And it's one of the great breakfast places to go.
It really is. And, it's just a couple blocks from the Capitol, just down the street from our station on State Street. So it's convenient for us, and it's a lot of fun. Gets us out of the studio a little bit. We get to say hi to a few folks that stop by. Get a few regulars in here every once in a while.
Yes, we do have regulars.
Yeah. So
and they've got the tables out along the window here.
Yeah, so you can go outside.
Of that. We can watch you eat.
Yeah, and you can't hear us from out there.
we might be talking about you, but
but you won't know.
Yeah.
So it's 7 minutes past the hour. Let's check the weather for today.
I think that's a good idea.
July 10th. Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. No, I'm never ready for the weather.
Currently, it's 70 degrees, but I wish I knew what the high temperature was going to be today.
Uh-oh. Well, we got to check, don't we?
I think we should check. Why don't we get out the weather roulette wheel?
Oh, that's a perfect choice.
Okay, let's roll that marble. Here we go.
Yes.
What will the high temperature be for today?
It's a red marble. In case
it is. It's going to be 82 degrees for a high today.
Red 82.
Red 82 is the number. So it's going to be hot and humid, too, the next several days.
Yeah.
Things are going to be heating up, and we'll talk to Brittany Merlot a little bit later on and get all the inside scoop on the weather for today. It's kind of cloudy right now, and again, 70 degrees.
I was listening to Pete Schwab on the way in. It's a rerun of his program late at night.
Right.
And in the early morning, and he was talking about Sherry out in Horicon.
Oh, really?
Sending emojis, as she always does from Horicon. She said, and he was talking about the fact that it seems like she doesn't sleep. She is constantly listening to the stations, all of them.
Really?
Every host, every show.
Wow.
Yeah. How does she do it?
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
Maybe she has a team with her, and they listen to all the different stations at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe they're, They're just saving every program for posterity.
Sure. We don't know who she is, but she's awfully friendly. She says hello to us every morning.
Every morning.
Gives us hey, how you doing? Listening to you in Horicon.
Yeah, it's always some kind of little animal emoji.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No eggplants. That's fine. That's fine. She gave us a turtle the other day. Yesterday, I don't know what that was called, what kind of animal emoji that was, but it's always cute. And maybe we should find out a little bit about Sherry, what she does.
Yeah. Maybe she can tell us. Yeah. Her next text.
It just hangs out. That's fine.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I going to mention? Sorry.
They're moving stuff around in the restaurant.
Moving the furniture in the back. I don't know what's going on there, but they're making a lot of noise back there, and it's it's good. Well, let's get into the National Day calendar for today. Why not?
Right.
Oh, I know what I was going to mention. A little bit later on, Mike McCabe, writer, author, columnist, is going to be joining us from Albion House, Substack. He's a Substack writer.
Abion House.
Abion.
And he's on Substack. If you have a chance, you should download the app for Substack. It's really interesting. It's a blog site, basically.
Okay. And he's written a book as well.
Yeah.
Miracles Along County Q.
Q.
Okay. So we'll talk to
ask
Mike
him about
McCabe
that, yeah.
a little bit later on today. Okay, let's get to the National Day calendar now. Is it or is it not one of these days? It's your favorite part of the show, I know.
I'm just nervous and tense every time.
Is it Pina Colada Day? Is it National Pineapple Turnover Day? Is it Chronic Disease Day? Is it Kitten Day? Is it Clarihue Day? Which day is it or is it not, John Peterson? Which day is it not?
It's not Chronic Disease Day.
Well, you would be wrong. It
Oh, my God.
is Chronic Disease Day. Sam, good morning.
It's
Yes.
it's
Would you
not.
like to-
Good morning. It's not Pineapple Turnover Day.
You are correct, sir. You get a
All
shiny
right.
new dime. We'll put that on your account. It is not Pineapple Turnover
Is
Day.
there such a thing as a
I don't know. I
pineapple
just made it up.
turnover?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it sounds like it might be good.
You know, I love
Yeah.
pineapple. I don't
Oh,
know.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh pineapple.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's really good for you, too. But let's talk about chronic diseases, okay? It's Chronic Disease Day. And it's to spread awareness about chronic disease, to educate and advocate people who live with chronic health conditions every day. Our hope is to raise awareness and be supportive to anyone with a chronic disease.
Well, I think we should talk to Eric Hovde about that.
Oh,
You
what
know,
do-
if you have a chronic disease, then you have to be charged more for your healthcare premiums every month. We're not. This isn't a free ride, folks.
Okay, well, that's right. You know, chronic disease is a condition that lasts longer than 1 year, according to the Center for Disease Control. And chronic disease is one of the leading causes of death in the U.S. 7 out of 10 people, 7 out of 10 suffer from some form of chronic disease, like ALS or Alzheimer's or cancer, Crohn's disease, diabetes, heart disease. Well, the list goes on and on. So what can you do to prevent a chronic disease? Eat a healthy diet, exercise, routine medical checkups, know your family's medical history, and get some rest. Okay? Good advice.
Well, thanks. That's thank you, doctor.
Let's move on to another day of the calendar here. It's
It seemed like kind of a downer day. We're celebrating
Don't mean to
chronic
br-
disease.
well, we're starting there and we're moving up.
Okay, that's great.
Let's,
Yes.
let's move up to
Get a little
national
brighter.
national National Pina Colada Day. There's one song on the
Yeah.
hit parade, the radio station that I occasionally listen to. They play this
Do they
song
still play it?
every single day, at least 2 or 3 times a day. The Pina Colada song. I hate that song. I think it wasn't that big of a song to begin with, but boy, oh boy, and it makes no sense at all. Here we're listening to
Wonder
it
what
now.
year that came out.
I don't know. Sam will look it up for us. And meanwhile, let's talk about National Pina Colada Day. It recognizes the sweet rum-based cocktail. I have nothing against pina coladas. I just hate this song. Today, we're anxiously awaiting the end of the workday. We are to enjoy the cream of coconut and pineapple juice. Here's pineapple again with a dash of rum cocktail.
Oh, that sounds great.
Pina colada actually means strained pineapple. Huh. A reference to the freshly pressed and strained pineapple juice used in the drink.
All right. Well, it's good. It sounds good.
The first written reference to pina colada was back in 1922. However, 2 different claims to the invention of the pina colada comes in from 1952 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Blah, 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 and we don't really care.
Yeah, I know.
But I just hate that song.
If you're going to use rum, use Myers rum.
Is that the good stuff?
Yeah, it's a dark rum.
Is
Yeah,
it?
It's really, really good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Do you like a rum and Coke once in a while? Or is that a good...
Rum and tonic
Really?
with the lime. It's
Okay.
fantastic stuff.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
It's National Kitten Day, John. I know you love kittens.
Oh, yes.
Who doesn't love kittens?
Just love those kitten emojis.
National Kitten Day today perfectly celebrates the cuddly warmth of a kitty cat.
Do we really have to know that?
The miniature fur balls of energy snuggle their way into our hearts with no effort at all. Within a flick of their tiny ears, we're in love, it says here. National Kitten Day reminds us that wild kittens
This is
are
getting sticky sweet here,
Okay,
isn't it?
let's forget it. I hate... I'm allergic to cats. No fan of kittens. We'll move on.
Wow.
It's Clarihue Day. Do you know what Clarihue
I do not know what Clarihue Day is.
I'm about to educate you right now because National Clarihue Day is today.
Wow.
And
Okay. Well, that's
it's actually, it's kind of like a haiku. It's a kind of stylized poetry thing.
Oh, okay.
Celebrates a poem style created by Edmund Clarihue Bentley. His 4-line biographical poems offered a brief, though whimsical, approach to poetry. Yes, the English novelist. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing Marcel Marceau imitations over there? You're just trying to distract me. Edmund Clarihue Bentley. He was a humorist. He lived from 1875 to 1956. He created this Clarihue at the age of 16. Sir Humphrey Davy abominated gravy. He lived in the odium of having discovered sodium.
All of a sudden, I don't like him.
Clarihue must-haves. As with most poetry, the Clarihue is defined by a set of rules, John. It has to be 4 lines, rhyming couplets of AA/BB,
Yes.
a person's name in the first line, something said about that person, and humor, because Clarihue poems are meant to be funny. Did you find that Clarihue funny that I just read?
I
The very
did
few
not.
first Clarihue, he invented a poetry style. Okay. That's it. That's all I
It's
got.
something you have to, I don't know, get used to.
Yeah, I guess. So that's it for the National Day calendar.
Well, that was good. That was really. I mean, you brought us down immediately with
chronic
disease day.
Yeah, that is kind of a downer.
And then you brought us up with kitten day.
Yeah, and Pina Colada Day.
And pina coladas when we get home.
Yeah, okay. Hey, that's a great idea. Let's check out the history book. Sam, could you open up the history book and tell us what the heck happened on July 10th?
Sure.
On this
Let's
date
open up the
in
book.
history.
We'll get a
it's
start on
big
it. We
book.
won't get through all of it.
Okay, fine.
Let's see. Today in 1925, the Scopes monkey trial begins in Tennessee.
Yes,
A big
indeed.
movie about that. I forget. Never mind. Go ahead. Scopes.
Never mind.
Give us the background of the Scopes.
For anyone
trial.
unfamiliar, there was a high school science teacher who was teaching evolution, and Tennessee had just passed a law making it illegal to teach anything but the
Creation.
the story of creation in the book of Genesis. And
Right.
so he decided to team up with the ACLU, I believe, and challenge that law. And he lost, but they appealed it.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
All right.
well, that sounds great. I'm glad he won eventually.
Eventually.
It took quite a while,
That's,
but
Yeah.
I think who was in that movie. That's
we'll
it?
get to we'll get to more of that. We're just out of time right
He
now.
just wants to play this for you.
All right.
Oh,
We're
yes.
coming back with more on the John and Gordy Show.
There we go.
Do you have your
This
clock
is-
there?
Yeah, I just wasn't paying any attention.
Oh, okay.
I was so wrapped up in chronic disease day.
Yeah, it's kind of riffing on that. We're trying to think of something funny to say about chronic disease.
Doesn't really give you a
Didn't
lot of
work,
room,
did it?
a lot of wiggle room for
No.
funny stuff, does it?
No. Oh boy.
I'm going to do the sponsor tag here.
All right.
First one of the day.
15 seconds.
Roger that. 15 seconds.
All right. So let's see what we got.
T minus 10.
10,
9, 8,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Started a little late on that one. A little early. Bad countdown. Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM. Broadcasting from State Street Live, and we are at Short Stack Eatery this morning, and that is Telstar, a great instrumental from way back when I heard that. It's just a warm and fuzzy song to this day. For me, I mean, it just brings back a whole bunch of memories.
I remember when that came out, yeah. And it sounded very futuristic at the time.
It did.
It was like, wow,
It
we're in the
Especially
space
the sound
race
effects.
thing. Yeah, Telstar was
I think
one of
it,
the early
the
satellites.
sound effect at the end, if I heard this on another radio program, it was a toilet flushing or something like that, and they reversed it.
Really? Is that right? I'd never heard that.
Well,
hey, John Peterson.
could have just made that up, too.
You might have.
Just like one of the days of the week that you always give us.
That's right. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The John and Gordy Show is sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better. Dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east and west sides or online at verlo.com. That's verlo.com.
And we played Telstar for a reason.
Did
Is that
we?
correct?
That's right.
All right.
Today
What's
in
the reason?
What's the reason?
Today in 1962 was a big day for the Telstar series of satellites. Telstar 1 was launched into orbit today.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was the first communication satellite to carry TV and phone signals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They named they named the Telstar after the song Telstar.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Making that
Just-
Is that right?
you know.
No.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, though. Only 7 months after being launched, Telstar 1 went offline because of a U.S. nuclear test. The EMP in the atmosphere, knocked the electronics out, and then it wouldn't work anymore.
Wow.
That's
Really?
not good.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, you learn something new every day. That's great.
Let's see what
we
else.
heard
Yeah.
that instrumental, Telstar, the instrumental.
yeah.
I
That's
did
right.
not know that there was a lyrical version of that.
There is?
It's awful. Especially, in the old days, they had a lot of really, really great instrumentals.
Right.
They don't play instrumentals so much in any of the top charting,
No. Top 40 or
surveys that they
whatever
have
you
out
would
there.
call
But
it now,
but they back then they had all these instrumentals, and in order to give that even more legs than
Yeah.
just the instrumental hit, they added lyrics to it, thinking that they could make another hit out of it. And
kidding.
it was a disaster. It was a horribly adapted song.
Sam, does it say on that song who created that song, Telstar? What was the band or the group?
The version that I was playing is by the Tornadoes. I don't know if
The
That's
Tornadoes.
it.
they wrote it or
Yeah.
not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was theirs.
All right. Anything else on this date?
Yeah, also in 1962, Niels Bohlin receives a patent for the 3-point seatbelt. Didn't quite catch
Wow.
on at first, but
The 3-point seatbelt.
Yeah, the one
yeah.
went
So
over
instead
the
of
shoulder.
just a lap belt, over your
yeah.
shoulder.
Okay. Well, good for Niels.
I remember I hated seatbelts way back when.
Yeah?
But I thought it was a good idea, but I just didn't like wearing them.
Well, you had to get used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And, they started making all these seatbelt laws, and people,
The shoulder belt
eventually
really helped
conform.
stabilize the whole unit.
But there was a lot of resistance to the seatbelt
there
early
was,
on. For
yeah.
what are you making us do
There's
this
still people
for?
like that, though.
Yeah.
Read about these accidents, people throwing from their vehicle. It's because they didn't have a seatbelt on yet
Right.
to this day.
Yes.
Strange. All right, what else
Sam,
you got there,
anything
Sam?
else?
Yeah, just
Before we close the
one
history
more,
book.
couple more things. Today in 1965, the Rolling Stones hit #1 for the first time with "Satisfaction."
That was the riff that. Okay. Yeah.
It was the riff that what?
Keith. That guy Keith in Rolling Stones. He woke up from a dream with that riff in his mind. Yeah, Keith Richards. Wow. He woke up with that, and they had a hit with it. Yeah.
How about that?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
And then I only had one significant birthday today. Today is Nikola Tesla's birthday.
Tesla. Nikola Tesla.
It came out with the battery-operated car.
And he was born when? 1856? That
Yeah,
seems like
looks
a
like
long
it.
time ago.
Yeah.
You remember it well?
Yeah, I do. Just like yesterday. Okay, so Tesla.
No, Tesla had all those lightning bolts, right?
What do you mean?
Like
he had
Tesla
them?
coils?
Yes, the Tesla coils. It created
Yes.
the lightning bolts.
Okay.
And there's I guess groups that use those Tesla balls, those contacts.
lightning.
Yeah, the lightning for a show effect.
Is that right?
You can make music with them, actually.
Yes, you can.
What?
Yeah.
How is
Yeah,
that
because-
possible?
Well, whenever you like fire off a bolt of lightning, it'll like make a disruption in the air, and if you do
Okay.
it fast enough, you can make sound waves with it.
Have you done that, Sam? You're kind of a scientist.
no,
Basement laboratory there.
I tried to build one when I was younger. It didn't
Yeah.
quite work out, but I've seen like shows like you're talking about where performers like they're wearing like a Faraday cage and they have a guitar inside of this cage and
Yes.
they play
Yeah,
it and
that's
it'll
it.
go through the coils.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It doesn't seem safe by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Wow. So, okay.
Very
Well,
cool.
how do you,
Highly
How do
recommend.
you top that, right?
I don't know. I'm speechless.
All right, we have a few minutes here.
All right.
I think this is a good place to mention this very quickly.
Okay.
The media is actually starting to focus on Trump's
Foibles?
problems,
problems.
With Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of new stuff is coming
Yeah,
out
the
on
news
this,
that,
isn't it?
well, they had that big release of information and details of everything that happened with Jeffrey Epstein, and Trump was dominating the list. and not only that, then we found out about a rape case, a 13-year-old that he allegedly raped back in 2014, or I can't
Okay.
remember what it was, but it was quite a way.
Well, 10 years?
No, it's not. It was
I think
much
it was
much earlier.
Yeah, I
than
think it
that.
was earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
anyway, I think it was 1994, something like that.
So, more news is coming out about this.
Right,
huh?
yeah. Ronan Farrow, a great
yeah.
reporter,
Right.
claimed the National Enquirer helped Donald Trump bury allegations that he raped a 13-year-old girl. And when a 2016 lawsuit accused then-candidate Trump of raping her when she was 13, few United States media outlets covered the story. Political reporting shared the court documents in 2016, and that court document now is online, and you can download it at any time
No
and
kidding.
read the details of this. This is the alleged incident as told by the witness, a 13-year-old girl at the time, and it was her story, and it was corroborated by another girl that was in the room and participated in one of the events.
My goodness.
And she told the same story, different room, and it's you got to think that's pretty close to being true, at least at this point, alleged.
Well, this is court testimony of some kind? I mean, or a deposition?
It's a deposition.
Okay.
It is a deposition.
Yeah. Wow.
So
So
it's
all
a
this
victim's
is...
affidavit alleged Trump tied her to a bed and forcibly raped her.
Okay.
Katie Johnson is the name of the girl.
All right. Well, we'll have much more. We've got also Mike McCabe, writer, author, coming up a little bit later on the John and Gordy Show. Seem to be overdoing it on the background noise today.
I know, we asked him to make it sound like a restaurant, right? But
Lord, how much ice do you need?
well,
Is that what they're doing? They're pouring ice out of the
Pouring
machine or
ice
something?
all over the place.
yeah, they're pouring it on the floor.
That's
just kinda
how.
cool
That's
the
why
place
it's so
off.
cold in there, Gordy.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
did find a jacket in my car, but the jacket's too heavy, so I can't get a good temperature
In between,
going.
right?
Yeah, I need something in between. Oh, we got a few minutes.
Yep. Coffee.
It's over there.
Somebody texted in about the seatbelt thing. Easy to find a patient under a car because they were thrown clear, only to have the car continue in the same direction, landing on top of them. Yikes!
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
But that was that referring to something else? It just a random text.
That's a text.
Was
that
there
we
something before that?
No,
Easy to find the patient under the car.
yeah, I don't
because
know
they were
about-
thrown clear.
I'm sure it's about the seatbelt thing. I don't know what else it would be about.
Yeah.
I remember And it was just a few days ago. I saw something on this. I think it was they were testing the dummies in the cars.
Yeah.
Not wearing seatbelts.
Crash test dummies.
Yeah, and I don't know why I just saw this. Maybe that's what the reference is to. And then everybody saw this thing, but they showed the early films of it, and people were ejected out of the car, thrown in front of the car,
Right.
out of the
Okay.
car, and the car rolled on top of them.
Yes. That seems to be a continuing pattern with people that get into crashes and aren't wearing their seatbelts.
Yeah,
They get
yeah.
thrown out and run over. Yeah, what a way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Sophia
look,
hates it whenever I mention the crash test footage of the original Volkswagen, because it makes her even less inclined to want to ride in it.
Wow, I did not know that was out there.
Yeah, that there's not much of it, but
Yeah.
It's today, the 10th.
All right, I'm gonna
10th.
grab another cup here.
Flying by the seat. Okay. All right.
Oh, I don't know. I don't need this badge on right now.
What's that badge referencing? What
That's
is that?
my census.
Oh,
It's got a number on it that
Yeah.
changes every 20 seconds. And I have to program it in as I'm logging into my computer.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a security thing.
Well, I'm going to try and follow the outline here.
Just try.
The Jeffrey Epstein thing. Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's what I planned for
that's
that
a-
break.
Really?
To get
Right.
rid of it as a story. The thing is,
We're going to hear more about that
yeah,
for sure now.
I personally think it's hit the fan is what's happened.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that. I mean, just
What
briefly.
has?
Okay, let's just touch on it briefly. That's
Okay.
all. The Jeffrey Epstein thing.
oh, more on that.
Yeah, well, just a little.
1 minute.
Okay, we got to get to the new poll.
Yes. Suddenly that Project 2025 is like, getting some pushback.
Yeah,
People aren't real wild about it.
and then we'll get to cut 42. Heather Cox Richardson replacing Biden.
Oh, we've got tickets to give away.
Oh.
Let me forget. Did we do that yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Pod Save America. I got to touch base with them. Anything back from them yet?
Yeah.
I saw something.
I gotta figure out more on it. 10 seconds.
Yeah, me too.
They asked for specific times, and I told them we're pretty flexible. So
All right.
John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go. It's John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy. In the morning, in the morning, in the morning, in the morning. It's John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, John and Gordy. At the break of dawn, get your coffee on. John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go.
John and Gordy.
WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM on your Civic Media dial. All you have to do is pull up that little app of yours, and there's no ads, nothing. You just
Yeah.
go on there and text us and give us a
Yeah.
call. Either way, and we did get a text, and this is the text. Easy to find the patient under the car because they were thrown clear only to have the car continue in the same direction, landing on the patient.
Yeah, we were talking about seatbelts.
Yeah, we
before.
were talking about seatbelts, and off the air, we were talking about the fact that I had just recently seen that video of the crash test dummies, and they were demonstrating what it would be like without wearing seatbelts.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring pattern with people that don't wear their seatbelts.
Yes,
If they
still
get into
to
a
this
crash,
day.
they get thrown out of the car and they get
John.
hit by the car.
Were you wearing your seatbelt when you rolled your Carmen Ghia?
I was, yes.
Oh,
Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard to get the seatbelt off upside down.
Yeah?
I had to get my friend out.
Oh, my
He
God.
was a little shocked and high.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Man, Well,
Yeah.
anyway, it's something you definitely have to do. That's why I don't like ATVs. Most dangerous vehicle in the
Me
world.
too. I don't understand it.
I don't
but-
get it.
Yeah. Well,
They
you know,
seem
they're-
really unstable. Like they
do.
tip over in an instant.
I know it. Yeah, there's no protection, no roll bar on a
Exactly.
lot of them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And running into things, wires, fences.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I would never let my kid on it.
Okay. Coming up, we're going to be giving away tickets to Pod Save America a little while after 7 o'clock. You will be able to text in to win, but just hold on. Don't text us yet. We'll tell you when. Pod Save America coming to the Orpheum Theater Friday, July 19th.
Coming up a little bit later on, we've also got another look at Agenda 47.
Yeah.
And that is if Trump became president, he would be the 47th president. And this is his agenda that he put out in 2022. That's it.
Okay.
And it came out at that time. He narrated his agenda. it's
agenda.
it's in his own words. There are videos where he's actually telling us all of this stuff. I'm presenting the audio version of it, but you can always check it out. Agenda 47. Check it out. It's surreal.
Is Agenda 47 anything like Project 2025?
It is exactly like it.
Okay.
So, but he hasn't heard about Project 2025,
No,
but it's
suddenly he
exactly
doesn't know
like
anything
it
about
for
it
some
now.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny. They actually showed a visual of somebody in the Trump administration. Basically, they're still kind of pretending to be president, and they have Project 2025 books.
Yeah.
The stack of books in the picture.
Really?
Yes, in their office.
Okay. Yeah. Right in back of him.
Right there with
Right
Trump. And so it's he doesn't know anything about it. If it's in books, if it's book form, he probably is.
He probably
no idea
doesn't
what
know anything about it.
Definitely
Yeah.
doesn't want to read a book.
No.
And we were mentioning Jeffrey Epstein and Trump's relationship with him and the 13-year-old girl that he allegedly raped. And we brought it up because it's something that the media doesn't want to talk about. They don't want to pick up on this. They're focusing on getting Biden out of office instead of this. This is what I would call a bombshell.
Well, sure it is. Yeah, all this information's coming out, and Trump's been going under the radar here for a couple of weeks.
Right.
Because of the Biden debate and all the back flack on that, going back and forth, and it just so they're just they've kept Trump under glass there.
Yeah.
And they're not letting him get out too much. Although he did go to a rally, I think last night or yesterday.
Yes.
And apparently he was off the track on that rally, and we'll probably find some sound on that maybe in the next couple of days.
But I think this rape
Yeah.
allegedly happened around 1994, something like that.
From
and
the
then
Epstein case.
this 13-year-old, older now, in 2016, had a lawsuit and then dropped out of that lawsuit because she felt threatened by Trump, who threatened her and her family.
Yeah.
So she decided to drop the case.
But all this is coming out now
Yeah.
because of public files and
Public
the media
files.
digging into it a
She,
bit.
she called herself Katie Johnson. That's not a real name, but
Okay.
that's what she used in the deposition, in the affidavit that they have out there online that you can read
Okay.
yourself. It's actually shocking stuff.
Coming up a little bit later on, we'll be talking to Mike McCabe. He's going to stop by here at Short Stack Eatery. He's an author, a writer, and we've had him on before. He's going to be joining us here at Short Stack after
On a
7
regular
o'clock.
basis, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff. It's going to be fun talking to him, actually. I can't wait. I want to get to this. This is kind of interesting. We've talked about Project 2025 and now Agenda 47. Somebody out there took a poll, and this is really kind of a cool poll because they asked about Project 2025, what people thought of it.
Okay.
After reading 19 proposed policies of Project 2025, opposition grew from 49% to 63%.
Okay.
An increase of 14%, while support for the plan declined from 31% to 24%.
Wow. So once people find out
Find out
what
about
it's in there, they don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
It had a catchy name, but once you dig in a little bit, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it's
negative.
strange. You know, we've been talking about it for about 4 or 5 months now.
It seems like it,
You
yeah.
know, it was kind of buried. It wasn't a
Right.
big deal at the time, and I thought, well, this is so strange and so unusual.
Yeah.
Because the MAGAs did not have any kind of agenda. They didn't want an agenda
Right.
because people could pick apart their agenda,
Yeah.
and they'd be a target of their own agenda. So they decided not to have a platform or agenda, and then they came out with Project 2025, and it was like, oh, is this what you're thinking?
Yeah, suddenly it's not so popular anymore.
Yeah.
And here, you know, the Republican convention starts next Monday. So they're going to
Yeah.
have some kind of platform. So how are they going to address Project 2025?
And the interesting thing about that is because of the conventions, it's coming up so soon, and this is becoming a very huge topic in the media.
Right.
Everybody's picking up on this besides the Biden thing, that they're going to have to answer questions about it.
Yep.
And I hope the reporters ask about Project 2025 and their opinion of it. I asked my mega friend in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he called me up,
Yeah.
angry as heck, you know, as usual.
What did he have to say
Well,
about
you know,
2025, about the project?
He said, oh, yeah, he supports it.
Okay.
And I said, well, what is it that you like about it? And he said, oh, I just like the whole thing. He has never looked at it.
He's never read it.
I'll bet he's never looked at it.
Wow.
And that's half the problem with
That's
the
the
mega
scary
cult.
stuff. Yeah.
Is that they accept everything. They don't even look into anything that he's
Right.
doing or what they're projecting.
Yeah.
And they don't care. And that's the odd part of it. It's just so strange, isn't it?
They just are after power. They're not into,
Yeah.
you know, actually.
It's become something where they just feel like they have to defend Trump no matter what.
No matter what. That's it. And we'll have coverage, a lot of coverage from civic media next week at the Republican convention in Milwaukee. And of course, when the Democratic convention comes around in Chicago in August, we'll also be there on the scene with Terry Bell, our news director, and some of our other folks from civic media. So we'll have a lot of coverage next week, especially wrap-up coverage in the early evening hours.
Yeah.
After a lot of the convention stuff happens during the day.
I'd love to be in Milwaukee. It's my hometown, and I'd like to, kind of
well, we should go over there
reminisce and walk up and down the avenue. That's what they call it. It's not Wisconsin Avenue. It's the avenue.
Well, and there's some court filings and some objections from the protesters about where they can actually protest now. And the city, I believe, is changing the plan. And the protesters are saying now it's too late to change the plan. There's a lot of back and forth on this, but I saw a news story early this morning about that.
Yeah.
That, the protesters are like fighting back, like, no, you can't change where we're going to be. We're going to be there, you know.
It's so crazy because they are trying to hide the protesters from the actual convention.
Trying to keep them farther away.
Seems wrong. I mean, if you're protesting an event, you should be near the event so people in the event see you protesting them.
Well, it almost seems like they're setting them up for, an action, like a violent action. They're taking away their right to protest, and so that just makes them even more angry. And, hopefully they don't get violent, but... they're changing the rules at the last minute of where they can protest.
Right. That's right, and the places that they're allowed to protest are so far away from the actual event.
Yeah.
They're like north of the event, behind the convention center.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Keep them way far away.
And it
If
just
they try to
seems
get
wrong.
closer, and then we're gonna have to call in the cops.
I think the place they wanted was right next to the river,
Okay.
and between the river and the convention center,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted it there so people could see them and hear what they have to say.
Right. Yeah, they have every right to be there and every right to protest, just like in the Democratic convention in Chicago. I'm sure they're going to have security there as well.
I'd like to know where their protests are going to be staged.
Well, that's an interesting
The
question. I think
megas can protest down there. Where, though?
that's a good question. I think they're going to be at the United Center.
I'm not familiar with any of that down there.
that's-
Are you familiar with the United Center?
Well, the United Center is they have a lot of concerts. They have a lot
Yeah.
of big shows out there. It's kind of it's going out toward O'Hare.
Okay,
It's,
all right.
it's out that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a ways from downtown.
Okay,
A
so-
long, but
then it would be in a parking lot?
Yeah,
Or-
there's plenty of parking lot space where they can
Mm-hmm.
where people will be able to protest. I think
Yeah.
so. They've got it figured out.
Well, I'm
You
sure
know,
it's
I
going to be
hear-
a lot
I'm-
fairer than this.
What
anyway.
I'm hearing from Milwaukee, there's a lot of people that are not coming to the convention. They were expecting big crowds.
Yes.
And, and
A lot of hotels taken up.
Exactly, and now not so much. So I don't know if people are worried about the protests and possible violence, or just staying away because they don't want to be a part of the show. What do they do? They've got a circular saw, barely building some tables back in the kitchen. I don't know what's going on. What is that noise?
I think they're cutting up some kind of leg of lamb or
Jesus.
something.
Yeah, it sounds like a chainsaw or something.
To do a little investigative reporting here. See what that
Well, we
is.
asked them to make it sound more like a restaurant while
Yeah,
we're
so-
broadcasting.
So they kept pouring buckets of ice all over the place, making some noise. Yes, Short Stack Eatery. You can actually order drinks here too.
yeah, the brunch without booze is nothing but a sad late breakfast.
That's their slogan up
Yeah,
on the
they've
wall.
got it. They've got it up on the chalkboard here.
Yeah, I think so. What's better than having some booze first thing in the morning with your breakfast? Yeah, and they've got a lot of it. Okay.
All right. Well, the strange thing is we're not seeing the leaf blower guy,
Well, we
or the
can't
sidewalk street beam guy.
No, we can't see them from here. They're
Yeah,
up around the
they're-
Capitol.
They haven't made it down this far.
Ah, okay.
Right?
It's early yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A lot of people passing by. A lot of early morning risers here at Short
There
Stack
are.
Eatery, and
There are.
passing by. You can stop in and say hello.
People with their laptops.
Exactly. We're at the corner of Johnson and State Street, and we'll be here till 8 o'clock. And again, a little bit later on, Mike McCabe will join us. It's all happening here on the John and Gordy Show for a Wednesday morning.
I was looking all over for a story,
know.
and I still can't find it. I don't know where the heck it is. I looked at
story are you looking?
I looked at some cuts. I know that we were talking about something. I thought, oh, this is perfect. This is just what I wanted. And I had something on it.
4C? Were you looking for 4C?
No. Well,
Cut.
what is 4C?
You
Don't
mentioned
remove
cut
Biden.
42.
That's don't remove Biden.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was, I was going to get to that, but that's not the story I was thinking about. We were talking about something, and I know I have a cut that deals with that. It's not When America Was Great. Oh, I thought it was a comedy
Not sure.
bit. No, let's see here. Future with Trump. No, that's ominous.
If we heard any more,
We're going to get to Agenda 47, by the way.
okay.
I think,
You gonna have Johnny at the movies? Or?
10 seconds.
yeah, later.
Well, it's actually targeted
Oh,
for this.
it's for this break. Oh, can you get that ready? Sam? Johnny at the movies. Fan Radio WMDX, 92.7 FM and 1580 AM, Madison. What a great show, huh?
Yeah. What is that? King of the Hill,
King
right?
of the Hill, yeah.
Great theme.
Yeah.
Love that.
It was great, and the characters were something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, we have a huge crowd
big
coming
group
down
coming in. 9 minutes before the top of the hour. Weather for today, temperatures right around 70 this morning. It's going to get humid. Really, the dew point is going to be climbing. It's going to be unbelievably uncomfortable the rest of the week. High today, this afternoon, 82 degrees, hot and humid. All the way through the weekend.
Well,
the heat's coming back for the weekend into the 90s. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, and
crazy.
And of course we're celebrating Chronic Disease Day today too. So we're on a real downer today.
Yeah. Well, you got to have a day to do that every once in a while. Once a year.
Let's bring everybody up a little bit here with another Johnny at the Movies and take a look at what's going on at the box office.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's go to the movies. huh?
Okay.
Let's see what happens
game.
here.
All right.
Okay.
Is it movie
Let's
time
check it
yet?
out.
Okay, let's go to the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Passion, the pathos, the honesty, the despair.
Somebody's got to do it.
Never before have the torments of movie critics been so vividly portrayed.
One ticket or two, sir.
It's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Why don't we find out what's going on at the weekend box office this last weekend?
Okay.
Well, a great holiday weekend at the box office. And number 5, Bad Boys Ride or Die, pulls in $6.6 million. And number 4 was the newcomer from A24, Maxine, pulling in $6.7 million. Number 3 was A Quiet Place Day One with $21 million. And at number 2, this time being edged out, was Inside Out 2, bringing in $30 million. This film has now eclipsed $530 million domestically and is the 3rd highest grossing animated film of all time so far.
Wow.
And that's because at number 1, we had another animated title. It was the first week out for Universal's Despicable Me 4. It brought in $75 million. Across the whole entire July 4th week, it brought in $122 million. Both Despicable Me 4 and Inside Out 2 should be going strong throughout the rest of the summer. This upcoming weekend, we have the new releases Fly Me to the Moon and Longlegs. There is so much to see at your local cinema. Go select a movie and see one today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's amazing that 2 animated movies are at the top of the box office.
I know. Inside Out again. We're dropping to number 2 now. Finally.
Animated movies just kind of dropped out of existence. I mean, there were a lot of really good ones out there, but no one watched them anymore.
Yeah.
And now they're back again. So why don't we check out what's coming up this weekend at the box office?
Okay. Let's do that.
Well, we have 3 new movies on screen this weekend. The first is Fly Me to the Moon. This is a comedy starring Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, and Woody Harrelson. During the first moon landing, the White House was determined that the mission was too important to fail. So as a safety net, they faked the moon landing. But the big question is, what footage did they end up using? The real footage or the one that was faked? You'll find out when you watch Fly Me to the Moon. It's a comedy that is excellent to watch on the big screen. The next movie is Longlegs. This is a terrifying thriller about an FBI agent in search of a serial killer who uncovers a series of clues that you must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. Oh, and by the way, the serial killer just happens to be played by Nicolas Cage. And the last movie is The Lion King, the original Lion King. It is the 30th anniversary of this fantastic animated feature, and it is back on screen. There is so much to see, including the 3 movies we just talked about, Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, A Quiet Place Day 1, and more. Go find a movie and have a great time this weekend.
All right, that's Johnny at the Movies.
Good deal.
Good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
All right. While we're trying to sell something here,
Right.
you have something you want to bring up?
No, I wanted to ask about the new Eddie Murphy movie. Is that actually out yet? Is that in theaters?
I think it's
that Axel F. I think it's called.
I don't know where it's at. I thought it was going to be a Netflix movie, but maybe not.
That's no. I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where it's at.
All right.
Okay.
While we're selling stuff here, movies, why don't we sell the $2 bill?
$2 bill.
Trump is as useful as a $2 bill, and now he put his face on one. Why don't we get to cut 48? Let's check this new ad out, the new grift.
Really?
From the Trump administration. Let's check it out.
Okay.
This $2 bill features President Trump's mugshot. Donald J. Trump makes history once again by becoming the first former president of the United States to ever be criminally indicted. The powers that be have made good on their threats to get him by indicting him 4 times. On Thursday, August 24th, 2023, President Trump was formally arraigned in Fulton County, Georgia, and this moment in history created the first mugshot of a United States president. In the photo, President Trump displays a furrowed brow and a determined gaze, showing he's ready to fight. He says he will never surrender. Whether or not you are a supporter of the 45th president, there's no doubting the historic importance of this photo. That's why National Collectors Mint has taken crisp, uncirculated U.S. legal tender $2 bills direct from sealed treasury packs, then enhanced them to commemorate this event. The mugshot seen round the world is front and center in the portrait oval, flanked by images of the flag and President Trump's famous signature. His inmate number is inscribed below the photo, and his declaration, "Never Surrender," is boldly presented on the bill. The final issue price was to be set at $39. However, during this special release, this full-color commemorative $2 bill can be yours for only $19.95, protected by our 60-day money-back guarantee. Each full-color bill comes complete with a certificate of authenticity in a collector's portfolio for preservation and protection. There is a strict limit of 5 bills per caller. First come, first served, so earliest orders receive priority over later ones. So hurry, don't delay. Now you can reserve your own colorized Trump mugshot $2 bill. Avoid disappointment and future regret.
That's
That's very
future
cool.
regret. Order now, right?
That's right. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Boy, I wonder if those are legal tender.
They are. These are actual bills. $2 bills.
Okay.
You can't ask for anything better than a $2 bill.
It's a
with
keepsake.
Trump's face on it. Yes.
What a great gift item.
The whole
Wouldn't
thing
that be
here
nice?
is these are all souvenirs. Sure. They're selling them to people as collector's items.
Of course they are.
Because
You know, when
someday
I was
they'll
a-
be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I guess.
When I was a kid, I had a fascination with $2 bills. Like 10-year-old me would have loved this.
Sure.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
10-year-old me would have liked it too.
They're pretty rare, I guess. I guess
$2 bill?
I suppose you can go to the bank and ask for them, right? Ask for them by name.
It's weird because I'm saving my $2 bill. It's
Are
like,
you?
This is a keepstake.
This will be worth something someday.
Well, not anymore. These keepsakes are bad unless they have a picture of Trump.
Yeah. Coming up in our next hour, Mike McCabe will be joining us here at Short Stack Eatery. It's the John and Gordy Show. Coming up.
John and Gordy Show.
Listen, that last comment? Yeah, I saw that. Was that before or after?
I know, you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I
you
did.
did. I was right here. I heard it. All right. All right.
Enormous crowd here
We
this
do,
morning.
yes. Yes. See, now if we were like, in the movies or something, we'd say, "Hey, everybody, let's say a big hi."
Sure.
I mean, they're all waiting in line to order. No one's sitting.
Okay, let's come up with a word for the text of the day.
Pancakes.
Okay, I like it. Pancakes.
There you go. Pancakes. That's right, we did.
Pancakes.
Oh, I don't know. That $2 bill thing is, it's a great grift. It's a great one.
Which texter should we take? The 5th? The 6th? The 7th?
I mean, there haven't been that many texters.
All right, we're going to start off. I don't know if you still have that sheet of paper with the Agenda 47. Sam, did you get rid of it?
It's in my backpack, which is down there.
Yeah, forget it. All right.
Did you emailed it to me or something, right?
I did, yeah.
I can reprint it if you want to cover it.
Well, we're going to get to it next. So.
Okay.
But it's no big deal. I mean, I could always, give you a heads up. Right now, I could give you the heads up.
Sure. Just the cut numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, 35, 36, 37. If we get that far, okay.
Just those three?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll if we can keep contact here, and I could wave to you and let you know if I want to stop or something. Okay.
Sure.
Because I know that these are a little ponderous because it's his voice.
If they're long, if they're long cuts, don't be afraid to stop.
That's right.
Stop and start.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Let them go a
Catherine
little bit too long.
Yeah.
What?
Catherine says she wants the weather and the time, or weather, time, temp.
Yeah,
Question mark,
I
question
did
mark.
that. I did that either simultaneously, or before she did it. It's either right before or right after. So I don't know. She was questioning it. Like, I don't know why.
All right, I'm gonna get some more Java. I'm gonna warm this
I'm going
up.
to stretch my legs.
All right.
All right.
I think it's. Everybody can hear us on Facebook right now. So it's,
Why? What do you want to say that you shouldn't say on Facebook?
We're not saying.
yeah, we're not saying.
We're not saying. It's just John and Gordy are very easily distracted this morning.
We are. Wow.
I see.
We've got a huge crowd here.
We do. People are all just kind of looking at us like we're some kind of
We're aliens.
kind of freak show.
Freak show aliens.
Freak show has come to town. What are they doing here?
Yeah, why are they doing? What are they doing over there? A podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're in here pretending to be on the radio?
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, that's us.
Yep. Okay, we got to do a podcast, a Pod Save America. Pod Save America.
All right.
Oh, yeah, let me look at what their email was.
What? Uh-oh.
What up?
Oh, yeah, we're going to
Oh.
do the contest, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
contest.
All right. It'll be easy, right? So you won't be too distracted, Sam, right?
Just do a text.
Yeah.
Text to win.
That's at the Orpheum Theater.
So for Pod Save America,
Yeah.
they could get one or two of the guys. All the suggested times are at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So
Would they
that'd
be
later.
together?
Which is noon, our time.
Yes, yes. Thursday or Friday this week, or Monday or Tuesday next week. We can figure it out more later, but
Okay.
So Thursday or Friday this week would be either tomorrow or Friday. It'd be Friday.
Yeah.
Noon. I don't want to hang around till noon on Friday.
No. Let's skip it this week. Let's do.
Do it early next week.
Yeah.
got it.
Now, did you say that they were both together, or? what
Well,
is
there's
it?
four guys who do the podcast. He calls them John or Tommy, so I'm not sure who that
Okay.
refers to.
Tommy Viator.
Yeah.
John's got to be John Favreau.
Okay.
All right.
1 minute. Time is flying by.
What? Sounds like you got a better
No.
viewpoint than I do.
No.
No?
Yeah, I do. That's not it. I'm just sitting there thinking.
What?
I'm hearing all the other talk hosts, And they're saying
30
this and
seconds.
that during our little meeting that we had. I don't know.
Have you been listening to the Devils? Have you been listening to the Devils? Because they can say whatever.
I don't know.
Here we go.
All right.
Transmitted by wire. Here is the latest news brought into your own living room.
You'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Talk is cheap. Gib. Always gossiping.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
This is High Five Plus.
And that's the way it is.
We'll do it live.
Only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Management thinks our talk is cheap.
6 minutes past the hour. Cloudy skies.
It's a special
Yeah. Yes.
short stack edition of the
Yes.
family show today, and we've got quite the crowd in here.
Yeah, suddenly, I mean, it's just been one after another, and now we've got a big crowd in here.
That's because of your fantastic weather forecast.
You
Everybody
think so?
decided to go out and take a walk.
I suppose so. It's looking kind of cloudy, but we saw a little bit of sunshine peeking through, and that's the way it's going to be today. A mix of clouds and sun and a high about 82 degrees. Going to feel hot and humid today. The John and Gordy Show is sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east side or west side, or you can go online, verlo.com. That's verlo.com. All right?
All right.
And guess what, John? It's time to give away a couple of tickets.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, Pod Save America. Pod Save America.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very popular podcast.
It is.
And they're coming to the Orpheum Theater next Friday, July 19th. Not this Friday, but next Friday, July 19th. If you would like to win a pair of tickets, WMDX and the John and Gordy Show are presenting that show at the Orpheum, and you can be a part of it. If you want to get a couple of tickets, why don't you be our fifth texter? Our fifth texter. And the word today to text is pancakes, because we're a short stack eatery.
Exactly.
You know?
That's
so
what
all
we're
makes
trying to
perfect
do.
sense. It's
Eat
like a
pancakes.
Pancakes. Yes. So just text the word pancakes. The number is 608-879-8255.
Or just send an emoji. Pancake emoji.
You could do that.
They must have them.
I think they probably do.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's do that then.
So the fifth texter wins those tickets to Pod Save America at the Orpheum Theater. You can also get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
All right.
All right.
Well, it's time to bring everybody down with Trump's Agenda 47.
Boy, we've been looking forward to this, and now you're saying it's bringing us down? What do you...
In his own voice. In his own voice.
His own words?
He actually did this on camera, presenting his case. And he did this, and it was released out on December 15th, 2022. So it's
right?
quite a while back. And this is
2 years ago. Huh?
It's incredibly similar to Project 2025.
Okay.
Odd how that is. He doesn't know anything about 2025, but, you know, Agenda 47 is something he verbally said himself.
Right.
And we've got those cuts for you. And we've got an interesting one today. Remember how his university went bankrupt and it was a big scam?
Trump
right?
University,
Yes.
yeah.
Trump University. Well, he wants it to come back.
Oh, good, because I wanted to get a diploma from Trump University.
Absolutely.
I think it would be great.
Now, we have proven...
You got to pay for that, though, right?
Yes, you definitely have.
It's not free.
No, actually, this is free.
It is?
It is free.
What?
Here's the thing. We know that Trump's university went bankrupt, and it was a scam.
That's right.
We know that. So now he wants to bring back his own academy. And during COVID, we found out that online learning wasn't so hot. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, we knew that long before that, but we were all huddled away in our homes, and we had to have online learning or nothing.
Right.
So, but again, online learning is a really bad way to get an education. But Trump, he thinks there's a chance that maybe people can learn something, at least how to spend money on his university. This is online free supposedly, but you can imagine that there's going to be some cost to this. Maybe
Well, I thought
maybe to society.
I thought part of the settlement from Trump University was that he couldn't do this anymore. Right?
He's gonna do this executive order, and this is going to be across the United States.
No kidding.
And let's just hear in his own words what he plans to do at his American Academy. That's what it's called. Let's check it out.
Okay.
In recent weeks, Americans have been horrified to see students and faculty at Harvard and other once respected universities expressing support for the savages and jihadists who attacked Israel. We spend more money on higher education than any other country, and yet they're turning our students into communists and terrorists and sympathizers of many, many different dimensions. We can't let this happen. It's time to offer something.
Okay, hold it.
Just
dramatically different.
Stop. Yeah.
Because there are many dimensions.
Right.
Besides, a three-dimensional object.
Yeah.
There are many more dimensions to this. And we are, teaching people to be jihadists.
Yeah, he's throwing out a word salad there of some hot button words.
Very.
Yeah. Savages. And turning our students into communists.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
There are a lot of people that believe that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, look at this.
Hello.
Hi.
Somebody's coming up to the
Came
window.
up to the window.
Waving.
That's fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastique, as they would say in France.
Okay.
So anyway, let's continue that cut and see what else he has to say about his American Academy.
All right.
Dramatically different. Under the plan I'm announcing today, we will take the billions and billions of dollars that we will collect by taxing, fining, and suing excessively large private university endowments, and we will then use that money to endow a new institution called the American Academy. Its mission will be to make a truly world-class education available to every American, free of charge, and do it without adding a single dime to the federal debt. This institution will gather an entire universe of the highest quality educational content covering the full spectrum of human knowledge and skills, and make that material available to every American citizen online for free. Whether you...
All right, just want to mention,
for free.
It's not so free, because what he's going to do is he's going to sue the private universities for doing what he doesn't want them to do. If they teach the wrong things, he's going to sue the universities, and all that money will be used to fund the American Academy, free online education.
Is this part of his Agenda 47?
It is.
Whatever it's
This
called?
is Agenda 47.
That's it?
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
It's similar to getting rid of the education department in Project 2025.
Okay.
All right. Okay, now let's continue, because it gets worse.
Oh, good.
All right.
All right. We can hear more.
Whether you want lectures or ancient histories or an introduction to financial accounting or training in a skilled trade, the goal will be to deliver it and get it done properly, using study groups, mentors, industry partnerships, and the latest breakthrough in computing. This will be a truly top-tier education option for the people. It will be strictly non-political, and there will be no wokeness or jihadism allowed. None of that's going to be allowed. Most importantly, the American Academy will compete directly with the existing and very costly four-year university system by granting students degree credentials that the U.S. government and all federal contractors will henceforth recognize. The Academy will award the full and complete equivalent of a bachelor's degree. In addition, to help the 40 million Americans who have some college education but no degree, the American Academy will grant credit for past coursework at legacy institutions and give you the chance to complete your education at the American Academy for free and much more quickly than is now possible or available.
Oh, God. All right. So anyway.
This was a couple of years ago, though, right?
Yeah. Well, you can see he re-recorded this one because he included the protests for Gaza.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So he redid
it, and he is going to support this. Now, remember, this is going to happen, right? And you can only sue so many universities and get funding from them with the lawsuits if you win the lawsuits, which will fund this online 4-year bachelor degree program This does not make any sense. If anybody thinks that this is a good idea,
it's not
and
going
this is going to educate anybody in this country.
This is crazy.
This is again Trump University.
It just doesn't. How does he think this is possibly going to be a thing? It just is
Who thinks this is a
me.
good idea?
Nobody.
No one could think this is a good idea.
It's crazy. So we got to hear, while we've been talking, you can probably hear it's been getting a little noisier in here.
It is. We've got quite a crowd in here.
These are all,
this morning.
John, I've been doing a little research. These
Yes.
are all high school kids that are here at Short Stack Eatery. They're part of a business club.
Oh,
and
really?
From different high schools in the area.
Uh-huh.
And they've decided to stop in at Short Stack Eatery today. And so the place is packed now.
It is.
Yeah, I think every table is taken.
Well, this is summer vacation.
Yeah.
They're high school?
It's a high school get-together of some kind. Maybe we can talk to one of them in a little while here and find out a little bit more.
Think they want to talk to us?
No, probably not. They want to just enjoy their meal and, ignore us,
Yes,
which
exactly.
is fine.
All
It's
right.
okay.
All
They're
right,
here
well-
on a field trip of some kind, so yeah. Okay.
All right, so we talk now. We're talking about the American Academy
Oh, yeah, back to
online
this. Okay.
4-year bachelor degree
Right.
that Trump wants to put in place. How about homeschooling families? We
How
don't want to leave them out.
No, how would they work into this?
Well, here's part of Agenda 47 from Trump. Trump, go ahead, take it away.
As president, it was my honor to support America's homeschool families and to protect the God-given right of every parent to be the steward of their children's education. Since the China virus, America has seen an estimated 30% increase in homeschool enrollment. When I'm reelected, I will do everything I can to support parents who make the courageous choice of homeschool. Under the Trump tax cuts, we allowed families to use 529 education
I want to
savings.
stop it here. He's not stopping.
There we go.
I want to stop it here, and I just want to say that this was a big complaint during COVID that everybody had to stay home and homeschool, and they hated it, and they
Right.
wanted to go back to school. So now Trump is saying that he wants to bring everybody home so they don't have to go to school. My head is spinning. I don't even know where to go with this next.
Yeah, I mean, he was all against homeschooling.
Yeah,
all against
no
that
one,
completely.
all the megas were against it.
Right.
And, it was a horrible thing to do. These kids lock them away in the home, and then they couldn't go to work, so they had to babysit themselves. They depend on the schools to babysit.
But now that he's got this American
yeah.
University or whatever he's calling
American
it.
Academy.
Academy, yeah.
Now this is
Now it's a good idea.
Now he's going to bring everybody home and homeschool so the parents have some kind of stake in this. Let's continue that. Go ahead.
All right.
We're almost out of time for this segment, John.
Oh,
I don't know if you want to wait a little bit.
All right.
Well, we could.
We'll hold on to that. It's 18 minutes past the hour, 70 degrees, highs today in the low 80s. And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be visiting with Mike McCabe. He's joining us, writer, author. We've had him on before. We're having him back again here at Short Stack Eatery. Also, we'll check in with Brittany Merlot, get the latest on the hot, humid weather that we're expecting the rest of this week. It's all coming up on the John and Gordy Show, live from Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison. All right.
Morning. How's it going?
Good.
I'm going through your short stack. I mean your Substack.
Substack, short stack.
No, it's short stack. That's right.
Oh, is Mike there? Hey, guys.
What a mental kill. Well, anyway,
Is Mike there already?
And you've got so much stuff.
Say that
Is
going
Mike
on.
there already?
Mike is here already.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to start with him? Go ahead.
Well, Brittany's here. She's calling in because her eye is swollen up today and she doesn't want to be on camera.
I want to kind of
wait. Say that again, Sam.
Brittany is here. She's calling in today because her eye is swollen up and she doesn't want to be on camera.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. We'll do Brittany.
Sure.
And then shall we introduce Mike at that point?
Hey, Brittany.
yeah.
How are you doing?
I think we should.
We all have to adapt to changing.
I know.
Oh, boy.
What do you want to do, Brittany, and then can we continue with this? Or?
5 seconds.
I think we should go with Mike here, as long as he's here. And
I think we're.
No?
I think we're done.
I didn't mean to interrupt
you're
your.
no,
Oh,
you're
no.
fine. No, we'd
show.
rather. WMDX, John and Gordy Show. Because it's a Wednesday morning, we are here at Short Stack Eatery like we are every Wednesday at the corner of Johnson and State. Always a fun place to be, and we got a big crowd with us today. And we're going to get the latest on the weather now. Brittany Merlot is on the line this morning to tell us more about our hot, humid, uncomfortable weather we're expecting the next few days. Is that what we're hearing, Brittany? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly what's happening. You know, today, not too bad. We've got a high-pressure system moving in, trying to dominate the state for the next 3 days or so. So mainly actually dry and low to mid-80s as we go through today, tomorrow, and Friday. But, of course, popcorn showers and storms could fire up this afternoon. Then we dry out, and we're looking at that heat and humidity building in, like you were mentioning. By Saturday, you are going to feel it. It is going to be muggy with temperatures into those mid-80s, and then it is going to be hot and humid on Sunday. We're going to be soaring to about 90 degrees, and then you pair dew points into the mid-70s with that. It's going to be feeling way worse. So, of course, we can't even get out of that humid grip until Thursday of next week. So it's got an extended life on this one.
Yeah,
that sounds miserable.
I do
like
remember
weather, and got to head to the lake.
I do remember that each and every summer we have weather like this, a long stretch of it, and I always think, why don't we have swamps? As many swamps in this state as we probably should have, you know, or at least the largest mosquitoes in the nation. We could, you know, maybe brag about that.
Well, I heard a report this morning that mosquitoes are really
they're awful.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad rest of the summer for mosquitoes.
Yeah,
for everybody, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I heard that there's 2 different breeds of mosquitoes right now, and then one of them is like really, really coming out this summer. The ones that kind of hang out in those stagnant waters, I guess. Yeah. So all I'm saying is my mosquito bites are bruising now, and I have never experienced something like that.
Horrible.
Massive bruises around the bite. So layer up.
That doesn't sound good.
It says a lot about going up north for a vacation. That's where you were.
Oh,
right?
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Brittany, thank you for that very uplifting and optimistic forecast. You
might want to reconsider going kayaking up north next time, right?
Right.
Okay. No, it's a blast. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It's a blast.
You get over it.
It's okay. No, maybe in a few weeks you will be. Okay.
All right, Brittany. Well, thank you for that report.
All right.
We'll just get the air conditioning going and try to get a little relief when you can. And
the first report ever of bruising from mosquito bites.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just document that today.
Brittany, thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yep.
All right.
I hope you recover quickly.
That's Brittany Merlot, our civic media meteorologist.
All right, so we continue with Agenda 47. This is a series of policy proposals from felonious Trump, things he would implement similar to Project 2025.
Boy, there's a lot in this, huh? I mean,
there's a lot of stuff. I haven't even gotten it all here.
It's so far. It sounds as bad or worse than Project 2025.
Well, it's because it's in his voice. You know, we hate his voice, right?
Well,
if I could have changed it, I would have. I would have given it some kind of squeaky, mousy voice of some sort, but I couldn't do it. And let's continue the homeschool thing.
Okay.
All right, let's continue that. We still have that queued up. If we don't,
education
that's okay.
savings accounts
There it is.
to spend up to $10,000 a year tax-free on tuition for grades K through 12. This was a tremendous win for school choice, very important, school choice, remember that term. And yet that benefit did not apply to homeschoolers. So to support the growing homeschool movement, in my next term, I will immediately fight to allow homeschool parents the same incredible benefit, $10,000 a year per child, completely tax-free to spend on costs associated with homeschool education. I will also work to ensure that every homeschool family is entitled to full access to the benefits available to non-homeschool students, including participating in athletic programs, clubs, after-school activities, educational trips, and more. To every homeschool family, I will be your champion. Do not vote Democrat. They are looking to destroy you. If you don't mind my saying that, Joe Biden can't put two sentences together, and yet he's looking to destroy you. Do not vote Democrat. Do not vote for Crooked Joe. Vote for Honest Donald. Thank you very much.
Honest Donald. That's a new one.
What a weird rant that was.
Honest
oh
Donald.
My gosh. Okay, so you have a savings account, $10,000. Of course, the school will cost about $15,000 to $20,000. So good luck with that, folks. It'll kind of price people out. Okay, now then
the American Academy.
Then this is the homeschooling part of it, and so he wants to send all of these kids to public schools to participate in clubs and sports and all that other stuff. But,
Sure.
for me, I'm thinking there won't be many public schools left anymore, right?
We're
pulling kids out of schools
Apparently.
for homeschooling.
Yeah.
And then we're sending them off to private schools because they want to do away with the Department of Education.
That's right. That's one of the things on the chopping block.
So, there won't be any kind of public or federal educational program for it and funding for it. So they'll be taking the kids out of the public schools. They won't have all these sports and clubs that they can go to if they're homeschooled.
Yeah.
None of this, of course, coordinates or makes any sense to anybody. And, of course, it doesn't include all of the tuition increases that these private schools, these online classes are going to cost. So that's the biggest problem of all. It's not going to work out. And the American public is being sold another $2 bill with Trump's face on it.
Well, it's going to be interesting next week to hear all of this stuff come out again at the Milwaukee, the Republican convention all next week. Of course, we'll have civic media coverage of that Monday through Friday.
We will.
So we'll see how they unfold all this in front of the American public and what the reactions are.
So, we haven't even gotten to, and we won't have time this time to get to Trump's 10 principles for great schools leading to great jobs.
Well, let's save that.
America must have a number one lowest cost energy and electricity on earth. And President Donald Trump's release his new Agenda 47 on big pharma and global freeloading on American consumers.
All that's part of the plan. It's just there's so much to this.
He wants to help people afford drugs, so he wants European drug prices to come to the U.S. So we're not the ones footing the bill on this, okay? But his plan is to raise the price in Europe.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Europe? What's he got to do with the price in Europe?
They pay less for our drugs in Europe.
Okay.
So what he wants to do to make it more affordable in the U.S. is to raise the price of drugs in Europe so we pay the same price as they pay in Europe. It sounds like a con to me. Could be. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that tomorrow.
It's all coming up. And next, we'll be talking with Mike McCabe, writer, Substack author, and author of a book called Miracles Along County Q. He'll be joining us here at Short Stack Eatery in just a few moments on the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sunshine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Are you still there? Gordy? Oh, boy. Gordy. Oh, okay. Did you turn yourselves down over there?
Sorry. No, I'm just turning it down once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're all good. We're all
Okay.
good here.
Okay,
Did you need to tell us something?
The Gen Z.
Nothing specific. A little bit ago, I sent a message. Only one person has texted in for the contest.
Well, they're the winner then.
Okay. Got it.
He said you're really lucky. You didn't end up having to deal with it in COVID.
Oh, yeah.
It just created such a bizarre.
Was he caught in the COVID thing in high school?
He was lucky because he got through his freshman year of college.
Oh.
And then it hit. And so he kind of got his feet on the ground in Minnesota. And he got his feet on the ground, got established, got the routine down, built a network of friends. Then they locked down.
Yeah.
I really feel for the ones who either had their senior year of high school hit by it.
That's my kid.
Or their freshman year of college.
My
where
kid.
They just never got it.
We were in a line of cars, like a drive-through, getting diplomas. That's and no friends.
Right.
Everybody disappeared.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So
yeah, and Casey actually knows it and appreciates that and acknowledges it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just got so lucky by circumstance of birth.
Yeah.
Because you realize that, you know, seniors in high school or freshmen in college, right when COVID hit, got a really weird and damaged experience.
Yeah, it was really damaged. It was damaged. Yeah, I got two Gen Zers at home, a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old now. So, yeah, that was terrible. My 22-year-old now actually has friends online, and he has visited his friends online. They have actually got together. They planned a trip to Vegas, and they got a Airbnb.
So they're starting to make the relationship in person now.
Yeah.
Good.
And then maybe a couple of weeks ago, I went to Ontario to see another friend up there. So now he's globe-trotting. You know, my son has been like Amsterdam because of his girlfriend in high school goes there during the summer. She's like, brilliant, right? She goes to school there in the summer, and she said, "Hey, why don't you come with me?" So he went to like Amsterdam with her. And I'm thinking, I haven't been out of the country except maybe Toronto. Yeah. But that's about it, and he's all over the place.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And we're thinking of getting our passports and making sure that if we can get out of this country if we have to. Our names, we're liberal, right? Progressives. They're coming after us, man. All right, I'm back. Got anything? So why don't you think on it there, Mike? Give us an idea of what we should call you. It's the Abion house, right? Abion?
Yeah.
And that's what you call your Substack.
Now. Yeah.
Does that get into the miracles along County Q?
That's a place.
Than what I read?
In the book. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about your book.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, can you get that mic
30 seconds.
as close to your mouth as you possibly can?
All right.
That's good. That's good.
All right,
here we go. 20 seconds. The crowd has settled down now.
Are we getting one of our AI-generated
jingles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We need one just for Short Stack.
Yes, we do.
Stack AI.
It's hard to get it to sing Short Stack in it, though.
Here we go.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Department Store, which this week only is featuring its annual clearance sale. No, not clearance. This is their clearance sale. Any customer named Clarence will receive 15% off any purchase during this week only. Offer void where not prohibited by law.
It's funny how many people turn out to be Clarence on that day.
Yeah?
A lot of fake IDs being collected. This is John and Gordy, the mad world of WMDX, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM, broadcasting live from Short Stack Eatery on State Street. Stop on by if you can. It's crowded in here today.
Yes. We've got some high school students here. Apparently they're on some kind of field trip. They're business students from area high schools.
Yeah.
And they've come downtown here at Short Stack Eatery. And The place is
I
really
to think
busy.
they heard us being down here, and they thought they'd stop by and see what a radio show really looked like.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just kidding.
This portion of the John and Gordy Show is sponsored by Verlo Mattress of Madison. Sleep better, dream bigger on a handcrafted, locally made mattress. You can find them on Madison's east side and also west side, or online at verlo.com. That's verlo.com.
We'd like to welcome Mike McCabe again as our guest.
Good morning, Mike.
This is a repeat performance, first one.
Yeah.
And Mike is on Substack, and you should download the app and check it out. It's really a great blog site for a lot of people who have some great things to say. These are people who were fed up with X and decided to do something better. Mike McCabe has his site. It's Abion House. And Abion House is a reference to something in his new book, Miracles Along County Q. And welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right.
Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
You have so many things to talk about, so many things on your Substack that every week we want you in here to talk about, whatever you're hot on at the time. But let's find out a little bit more about your book, Miracles Along County Q. When is that coming out?
Coming out sometime in September.
All
That's
right.
what they tell me.
All right. Now, what is the story? And this is about you, basically, your childhood?
No, it's not.
It's a fiction.
It's not about.
It's a novel.
It's not about me. It probably, truth be told, it's probably more about my late brother.
Oh, okay.
Who I grew up in his shadow, 3 years his junior, and he passed away at the age of 46 from colon cancer.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But he had an amazing impact on me, and that's probably the inspiration behind the book. But it's set in a small town, which is where I come from, and in rural Wisconsin. And it's a ghost story of sorts, but it's also about this very enchanting place that also can be a very stifling place, and about how people who are overlooked or looked down upon or ignored, the outcasts, actually have a heck of a lot to give, and they work some miracles and come to the rescue of a very stricken place. It was more inspired by my brother, and it really doesn't have that much to do with me, but obviously
it kind of does in a way that because when you're younger, I guess you're observational.
Oh yeah.
And you were watching your brother.
I would not have had the same path in life if not for having had him as a brother. I shudder to think exactly where my life would have gone. He made me a much more compassionate person. He made me a much more socially conscious person.
Yeah.
Because I watched him subjected to ruthless bullying, and I saw how he handled being treated the way nobody should be treated.
Right.
And he had every reason to curl up in a ball and just block out everybody. And yet I don't know that I ever knew a friendlier person. I don't know that I've ever encountered somebody who was more open to people than Dan was. And he had every reason to close himself up because he was just circumstances of birth ended up leading him to be just treated in a ghastly way. And I watched that. As a brother who was 3 years younger than him, I watched him deal with it all. And that had a huge impact on me. And to me, one of the things that it taught me is none of us is self-made.
Yeah.
That myth of the self-made man is a myth.
Yeah.
We all stand on the shoulders of others, and we're all shaped by experiences that have everything to do with other people in our lives. And Dan was a big influence on me. So here, all these years after his death, I had this story kind of rattling around in my head for years, and I finally decided to write it down. So it's the first time I've ever written a novel. And it's about to come out. Can't wait to have readers get their hands on it. And at that point, it won't be my book anymore. It'll be theirs. And I hope that it's a story that has great meaning to me, and I hope it has some meaning to to other people as well.
Well, it sounds to me like you're a second child.
I'm the youngest of five.
Okay, I was going to ask you, do you have other brothers and sisters?
I actually had 4 siblings.
Okay.
I only have my 2 oldest sisters remain.
Yeah.
I lost my youngest sister and my brother both to cancer, both at young ages. So I still have 2 older sisters living in Janesville, nearby, and so I was the youngest of 5.
Talking with Mike McCabe here at Short Stack Eatery. So, Mike, where did you grow up? What was the small town that you mentioned?
My family had its roots initially in Rock County. So when I was very young, I lived near Evansville in Rock County, not far from the Illinois border. But I did most of my growing up in Clark County, about halfway between Eau Claire and Wausau.
Okay.
Outside of a little town named Curtis, and went to Owen Withee High School, and so that's really where I came of age, and the book is based is anchored in a small town in Clark County.
Now, so you call the book Miracles on County Q.
Yeah, Miracles along County Q.
Along County Q.
Yeah.
What kind of miracles are we talking about here? Can you share one or two? Or?
The main character is named Ray Glennon, and Ray has a lot of secrets that are revealed over the course of the story. And
you nicknamed him Rage, right?
That's what the person closest to Ray.
Oh.
That's the name.
That's the name.
That's his nickname, huh?
Yeah.
Mom says Rage. Nobody else does.
Okay. All right.
But there's a reason for that you discover in the book, and that is one of the surprises. You won't.
All right. Well, we don't want you to give away anything.
I just gave away the whole thing. Well, there's a hint of rural resentment. You're trying to deal with that a little bit here?
I think more than rural resentment, it's about rural complexity. It's about how
or the misrepresentation of rural people.
Yes, it
being
is
resentful.
The rural people are resentful because I think they feel as though they've been caricatured, and they don't feel understood. They don't feel seen
by the city folk.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and that the thing of the blessing I've had in my life is I've had a chance to live across that divide. I've lived in the city, I've lived in the country, and so it's kind of amusing to me how city folk see rural people sometimes, because they have all these generalizations and stereotypes that they apply to rural people, and that drives rural people up a wall.
Yes,
because rural communities are just like urban communities. They're not monolithic. Not everybody's the same. And this book is really about outcasts in a small rural town. People who, even among outcasts, they're outcasts, and yet they do remarkable things. And so the book is really about how so many people in this world are underestimated and are undervalued. Their ability to do amazing things is not recognized because they don't look exactly the way people think a significant person should look, or they don't come from the same place as what people think an important person would come from. Those are the kinds of themes that I'm working on.
The stereotype goes back and forth. I mean, the same can be said for rural people's view of city folk.
That also
we're not exactly the same.
That also amuses me when I hear rural people talking about city folk. Because it's funny. I've run into so many people from the country who are afraid of cities.
Oh yes.
Sure. They're spooked by cities. They don't want to be in cities because they've got all kinds of misconceptions about city life, and they're afraid of it. But then I talk to city people who are kind of leery about those small towns, and they walking into a little cafe out in the middle of nowhere. sort of unnerves them.
Well,
they feel out of place.
That's true.
And you know, there are no safer places than that little cafe out in a small town.
Absolutely.
Except that, you know, there's a lot of people in small towns. Everybody knows everybody's business. They all know each other, and so when they can spot a city person coming in, a mile away.
There is a line in the book. I will give you one line in the book.
Okay.
It says the odd thing about small towns is that everybody thinks everybody knows everybody, and everybody's wrong.
Oh, really? Okay.
One of the things that I've found about small towns is that it's impossible to hide in a small town.
Right.
Everybody knows you're there.
Yes.
But I don't know that there's any place on earth where it's easier to keep a secret than a small town.
Okay.
Wow.
And
well, that's a kind of a reversal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
And so that's one of the things that I challenge about small towns is that notion that everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know you're there and they know your name. They know, but they don't really know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
not a lot of conversations going on.
Well, people sort of let people handle their own business, and there's not everybody is sort of watching you, but they also they're
pretty much to themselves.
Yeah, they're not going to pry too much, and they give you your space, even though there's not much space to give because you're all there together. But
that's true.
Yeah. So
well, and the reverse of that, in the city, you can kind of be anonymous if you want to be. You can kind of, you don't have to, so
good point.
That's why they feel, when they go out to the country, they can't be anonymous anymore.
But there's more cameras. There's
more. Right.
So and that's what's missing out in the small towns. Is that not everything you do is being recorded. There aren't so many eyes looking at you.
Not a lot of security cameras or things like that.
And your house is just a greater distance from the next house. So
that's true.
It's amazing how my neighbors, they know if we've left town because the newspaper hasn't been picked up or for whatever reason, so. That's part of what I talk about is just the complexity of rural life, that it's not what many people think it is.
I spent a little time out on a farm, about 2 weeks baling hay with some folk that my parents knew out there.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from that. They would
it's a
help
good
each
character
other.
Builder.
They they paid me, to cut weeds down in a bean field. But here's the thing. They help each other out. Different farms help other farms out, but they don't get together for dinners or anything like that to just help, and that's about it. There is a social distancing in the rural community that I thought my observation.
And I think that's why I say that idea that everybody knows everybody is a bit of a misconception because they, especially when you're out on the farm,
right?
You're doing your work. And the next neighbor could be a half a mile away.
Right.
And there's the occasional gathering. And I used to always marvel at how the high school football game or the high school basketball game, the whole town would show up.
Mm-hmm.
And there were these community gatherings, but there weren't people on a daily basis.
Right. Mm-hmm. They had their business. I mean, these are businesses out there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's sort of you're sort of isolated and.
That's the way it is. We're talking with Mike McCabe, author. We're coming right back. He's got a new book called Miracles Along County Q. We'll talk with him more coming up.
All right. Just cruising through this.
It's our last segment coming up.
Did you have any kind of opinion about Project 2025 or any of this?
Certainly happy to talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I know I want to get to unanimous unease, which I love. I love the term. It's really, really good.
What is it?
Unanimous unease.
Okay.
And that we're in a state of emergency all the time. And I'm just fascinated by it because when I read this, I thought, That's the unease. That's the feeling I have.
20 seconds.
Maybe it's because I'm so close to the subject matter, but, you know. Well, let's talk about this project.
5 seconds.
Coming up in about 10 seconds.
Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM, and get out your Civic Media app and join us there as well. You can get us perfectly all the time and every time on that app. No ads, and it is a wonderful place to be. You can always contact us via text button or a call. One way or another, we will try to hear from you. All right, our guest today is Mike McCabe. He has a Substack column. It's Abion House.
Abion
House.
It's spelled with an E, but it's pronounced Abion.
That's right. And why don't we get into something that we've been kind of talking about here on our radio stations all across the state, and that is Project 2025. And I'm sure you've heard about this. What's your impression about this massive Project 2025, over 900 pages worth of change to this nation? What do you think?
I haven't read all 900 pages, but I'm actually somebody who has read a substantial portion of it.
Oh.
I got really curious about it, learned about it quite a few months ago, and I'm glad that it's now getting talked about on, whether it's John Oliver or your radio show, or
right.
There's a lot of discussion about it now, which cheers me because I first became aware of it when I was reading that special edition of the Atlantic magazine that was totally devoted to what if Trump wins.
I think that's where I saw it.
And it had 25 or 30 articles on all these different topics, and there were these repeated references to Project 2025. So I looked it up, and I started reading it. And I definitely read hundreds of pages, not all 900, but it's haunting. And when you think about how the connections to either Trump's past campaigns or his past administration, the people involved with developing this blueprint come from Trump world.
Right.
They have been part of the Trump operation, and this is what they want to do to remake America. And I really encourage people, if they haven't looked at it very much, Google Project 2025 and dive in, because it's really important to know what the people behind Trump are cooking up.
Right.
And what kind... It really is a blueprint for authoritarianism.
That's what it is. It just lays it all out.
If I had to sum it up as simply as I can, that's how I would say it's a blueprint for authoritarianism.
And just, in the last couple of weeks, though, Trump has been distancing himself a bit from it. He doesn't know anything about it. He's not part of it.
And the funny thing is, he says, I don't know anything about it, but then he took exception
to certain parts of it.
He said the way they're characterizing it is all wrong. So how would he know that the way it's characterized is all wrong if he knows nothing about it? It was one of those many times where he just cracks me up when he says these things.
I know. It seems like that's a dead giveaway, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got a cut. Why don't we get up cut 47? Okay, let's play cut 47 just briefly.
Okay.
And listen to a little bit of Project 2025, the end result, what the future could look like.
Department of Education is renamed the Department of American Values and mandates a nationwide Christian nationalist curriculum for all schools receiving federal aid. Trump, joined by Speaker Mike Johnson and evangelical leaders, announces that the Department of Health and Human Services has reclassified mifepristone, making it illegal to distribute or prescribe, as well as new HHS regulations that make IVF treatments impossible to legally administer. Trump reverses one campaign promise by declaring a national abortion ban by executive order. Challenges to his authority are rejected by the Supreme Court, which has seen new appointments from Trump after it was expanded to 12 justices. He signs an executive order removing abortion records from HIPAA privacy regulations and announces a new federal data sharing program so states can monitor women's periods. Thousands are detained while crossing state lines under suspicion of seeking an abortion. Trump's acting Secretary of Defense, a disgraced ex-general, fires over 400 generals and admirals, leaving the military leaderless. Other Trump appointees purged the ranks of the CIA, FBI, and Department of Justice. By executive order, Trump withdraws the United States from NATO and ends Pentagon cooperation with Ukraine. Russian tanks enter Kyiv. Vladimir Zelensky is killed. It is announced that Trump will run for a third term, claiming he was unfairly cheated in the 2020 election. His Supreme Court ultimately agrees with this interpretation, paving the way for Trump's 2028 re-election. If you hear all this and believe it isn't possible,
sample. It's not only just Project 2025, but kind of an expansion on it. Just ad-libbing at that point. Once they have that in place, they can go on and do a lot of
anything.
What
well, among the many things they do is they talk about turning tens of thousands of federal civil servants, experts in the policy fields that they work in, into political appointees, into cronies.
Yeah.
So that is about taking our government and turning it into an instrument of control in the hands of that administration.
I'm just thinking of the massive unemployment at that point as well. It's not going to do well for the economy.
People need to know about this. I'm really, it's so important that it's getting some attention, and I don't doubt that he wants to distance himself now. Once it started to filter out. I think as long as it was a closely guarded secret, I think he didn't need to talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you came in a little bit early and heard some of Agenda 47, which came out in 2022 on December. So a lot of this is kind of that predates Project 2025. At least maybe simultaneously was created at that time, but it sounds so much like it.
Yeah.
And in his own words. So it's not like he's unaware of any of this is going on. I mean, like you said, he disagreed with some elements of it, but doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah. We're down to about a minute here. So just, Mike, I want to wrap up by asking, when does your book come out, Miracles Along County Q?
Sometime in September.
Okay.
That's what the
Gonna have
publisher
book
tells
signings and
yeah,
that kind of thing?
I'm going to do as many of those kinds of things as if anybody will have me, I'll come out and talk about the book and let people get it.
Well, you're going to be a regular guest here at Short Stack. And,
we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, this is fun. It's great talking to you about all of this stuff. And I want to get into your run for governor and all this other stuff that, you're just keeping away from us, momentarily anyway. We're going to dig deep into it. I want to dig
the whole thing, the whole story can be an open book,
How can people find you on Substack? What's the...
Substack, MikeMcCabe.substack.com is the address. The journal itself is called ABN House, but just MikeMcCabe.substack.com will get you there.
That's great. All right.
Good deal. We'll see you again next Wednesday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
That's gonna wrap it up for John and Gordy from Short Stack Eatery. We will be with you tomorrow morning. Our guest will be Executive Director of Wisconsin Democracy Campaign, Nick Ramos, tomorrow on the John and Gordy Show. Have a great day.
All right. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Let the sunshine. It's the John and Gordy Show.